Am I the asshole for giving my pregnant girlfriend an ultimatum? My girlfriend Jen and I have been together for 4 years. Back in April, 2 great things happened. We found out Jen is pregnant, and I closed on a house for us to move into. Our family and friends know about the pregnancy, including Jen's best childhood friend, Amanda. I will admit, I never liked the dynamic between Amanda and Jen, but it didn't really affect our relationship since Amanda lived across the country. After finding out about the pregnancy, Amanda decided to move back home. We live in Jen and Amanda's hometown. Amanda has been back since late May, and all hell has broke loose. Jen's always felt a little self-conscious in our relationship. I work construction and do personal training. She feels intimidated by small girls, but I have no idea why. She's a sexy AF woman with amazing curves. Amanda has done nothing but played into Jen's insecurities and anxieties since being back. Jen and I have never been the tracking location couple or looking through phones couple. We always considered that a red flag in a relationship. Amanda has convinced Jen that she needs to start doing that, so she's been looking through my phone on the regular and finding nothing. I've communicated my hurt and frustration and that I think she needs to distance herself from Amanda, but she kept rebuffing my concerns. About 2 weeks ago, Jen asked again to look through my phone. I told her in no uncertain terms that this will be the last time she looks through my phone. If she again sees nothing suspicious, then she needs to agree to go to counselling and distance herself from Amanda. She agreed, looked through my phone, and found nothing suspicious, but she soon reneged on her promise to do counselling and distancing herself from Amanda. I decided to move out. We're currently on a month-to-month lease in an apartment until renovations get done on the house I bought. I'm staying with a friend until the house is ready, and then I will move in alone. Jen has asked me to reconsider. I refuse. She will likely need to move in with her mother, which is not ideal given the limited space, which I feel terrible about, for my child. Am I the asshole? Edit. 1. I'm fully aware that Jen has raging hormones. Trust me. I was dealing with a lot more than just her insistence on searching my phone constantly. 2. I've been doing individual counselling for 6 years. I want to do couples counselling and Jen to do individual counselling. 3. I left because Jen lied to me. Okay, so I'm going to give my opinion first because the bulk of this video will just be the comment section of this first post and the unhinged projection coming from a group of Redditors. But I'm just going to say I think Amanda is full-on, full steam ahead projection and putting her own insecurities directly into Jen's head and then kind of, in a way, enabling Jen to lose her mind and destroy the relationship that Jen has with OP. I would put money on the fact that Amanda's projections come from the fact that she herself embodies those qualities that she has made Jen so fearful and anxious about. I think Jen was stupid to not do what OP wanted here in this situation and distance herself from Amanda. When your partner gives you a reasonable ultimatum, I feel like it's your duty, especially with a child on the way, to listen to them, take them to heart, and follow through with it. Because what, do you really value Amanda over your relationship with the father of your child? Especially when your behavior has dramatically changed. He has proven that he is a good man, that he is not cheating on you, and yet you still insist to cross those boundaries that he set up? Yeah, no, Jen's a complete idiot. Jen asked for this. Jen is the asshole in this story. As much as Amanda sucks, Amanda did not force Jen to burn down her relationship with OP. Amanda did not have a gun to Jen's head and said, "Do this or I'm pulling the trigger." This entire situation is all on Jen. She's to blame. She sucks. Now let's get ready for a lovely journey in the comments. Glinda the Witch says, "Tell her the counselling is still on the table, but don't live together until you get to a point where she trusts you and ditches her friend." Redditor 1, downvoted, says, "You're the asshole. Is this post even for real? You have a child on the way. Your girlfriend's hormones, anxiety, and insecurities are raging, and you've given her an ultimatum, then disappeared, leaving her alone and potentially having to move in with her mum? You say that you've closed on a house, not a family home. You've closed on a house that you may or may not let her live in, depending on her behavior. I just feel sorry for this child, to be honest. Redditor2 downvoted says, can't believe this comment is so far down. OP's the asshole for abandoning his pregnant girlfriend and child. Statistically, men cheat more while women are pregnant, and on top of that, pregnancy hormones taking over emotions, rational thought, physical changes. It's a trip. Counseling's a good idea. Medication might be too. Ah yeah, Redditor2. Yeah, he's the one cheating in this situation, of course, just because statistics say it. Would it also not hurt to have a mature, supportive partner instead of a tantrum-throwing, moves out of the house, abandoning jerk? Does OP not realize there will be an actual baby now, so he has to stop acting like one? What happens when single dad OP has to deal with projectile poop from an infant? Will he leave the country? Every time I read posts like this, I thank whatever god or gods exist that I ended up with a partner that is so ride or die for me and our kid, there would literally be no problem that he wouldn't insist we work through to get to a solution. Abandoning your pregnant girlfriend and child is some weak-ass nonsense. Be a grown-up, work through difficulties. Hate to break it to OP, but shit's not gonna get easier when you add a baby to your life. But it's better with a partner. Why isn't Redditor2 saying this to the girlfriend? The fuck? She's the one that blew the relationship up. Anyway, OP replies, statistically, men cheat more while women are pregnant, and on top of that, pregnancy hormones take over emotions, rational thought, physical changes, da-da-da-da-da, medication might be too. This would be like me accusing Jen of racism based on nothing more than the fact that I am black and she is white, and she refuses counseling, couples and individual. They also say, would also not hurt to have a mature, supportive partner instead of a tantrum-throwing, moves out of the house, abandoning jerk. OP says, have no idea where you got that I threw a tantrum. I told her I was moving out and calmly moved out. She followed me crying, at one point grabbed my arm and yelling in my ear that I am not moving, and ended the night by trying to block the doorway to the apartment to prevent me from driving off. Does OP not realize that there will be an actual baby boy now and he has to stop acting like one? What happens is, I dealt with it. I am the oldest of 4 and had 2 drug addict parents, and of the 2 of us, I have far more experience taking care of babies. Hate to break it to OP, but shit's not gonna get easier when you add a baby to your life, but it's better with a partner. I wish I felt like I had a partner right now. I do not. I was getting yelled at, screamed at, accused of cheating every which way because I don't want to have sex with this person who is treating me like shit, etc. In fact, our conversations since I moved out have drastically improved in quality. Redditor3 enters the Coliseum. Downvoted. They say lying is not okay, but causing her house uncertainty and stress while carrying a baby is worse. She wants reassurance that you aren't cheating, and she wants to know she can still have sex with you safely and not risk her child getting STIs, and I don't understand why looking through a phone is a big problem unless you are hiding something. She's carrying a baby. This is major. If you're planning a future for her and your child, she should be listed as the owner as well.
No?
In a marriage, you share everything. Here she is carrying a baby and risking her health, but you don't do anything to protect them and make their welfare worse. OP says, she wants reassurance you aren't cheating. I don't understand why looking through a phone is a big problem unless you're hiding something. Jen has straight up told me that if I ever searched through her phone on the 3rd time, she would likely leave me. Editor Marky here. I'd like to revisit this point. She said that she'd leave him on the 3rd time of him doing that to her, yet she expects him to be all hunky-dory when she looks through his phone so many times. Rules for thee, but not for me. Hypocritical ass Jen saying, yeah, if you did that to me, yeah, then I'd leave you. But, actually, it's really chill when I do it. It may not be a big deal to you, but it is in our relationship. And to even think I would risk harming her or our kid is truly insane. If she thinks I'm that sort of monster, she should not be with me, period. She's carrying a baby. This is major. If you're planning on a future with her and your child, she should be listed as the owner as well. I am not going to put her on the house if she's not on the mortgage. That makes no sense to me. In a marriage, you share everything. Here she is carrying a baby and risking her health, but you don't do anything to protect them and make their welfare worse. I pay for 100% of all of the costs associated with the pregnancy. Redditor3 is back and says, but no ring, no house. You like the control, but you aren't the provider/protector. OP says, lol. I am not the holdup on the ring. She is. She wants a very particular type of wedding, one that we cannot afford right now. It is her desire for a particular wedding that is the holdup. I was willing to go down to the courthouse 2 years ago, but I will take poor assumptions for $1,000, Alex. And again, I pay for 100% of the baby cost. How is that not being a provider? Redditor3 says, providing shelter and protection is the main role of a dad. OP replies, and I am providing those. I pay for the apartment that she's in right now. I pay all the utilities too, and I bought a house for my kid. And I am more than willing to have her move in if she will actually go to counselling with me. She refuses. I do not think that I'm being a good provider if we do not address the relationship, which she is unwilling to do. Redditor4. It doesn't make sense that Amanda decided to move home after hearing about Jen's pregnancy. Grown adults, even best friends, don't upend their life because their best friend is pregnant. My guess is that something happened with Amanda and now she's back in their hometown and wants Jen to put her first over the boyfriend. OP replies, she had a bad breakup about 6 months ago. I don't know all the details. She works remotely, and her company's home office is located here, so not much upending that she had to do. Redditor5, downvoted, says, so as soon as the going got tough, you decided to bail on your pregnant partner because she feels insecure about her changing body and is acting in a way that is consistent with being pregnant, hormonal, and easily threatened by you working in close proximity with non-pregnant women? Can't wait to see how you respond to a toddler. OP says, I have 2 drug addict parents and I was the eldest of 4. I was effectively raising toddlers when I was in elementary school. I left because she lied to me. Jen spent about 30 minutes searching through my phone 3 to 4 days a week for a month. I left because she promised if I let her do it again, she would do counselling and start distancing herself from Amanda. She searched and refused unapologetically to do what she agreed to. How old are you and Jen and the friend? OP says, me 29, Jen 26, Amanda 26, ? Redditor3 comes back, insisting that OP is the villain of the story. Redditor3 downvoted says, can't this conversation wait until well after the postpartum period so that it isn't causing undue stress to mum and baby? Causing stress to both is dangerous. Your feelings about your privacy should take a back seat to their health and well-being. OP replies, Jen's responses and conversations with me have been far calmer and relaxed since I moved out than at any point in the 6 weeks before I moved out. Living with me was not a source of calm at all for Jen. I see no evidence that living separately is causing more stress than when we live together. In fact, my interactions suggest the opposite. Redditor3 says, that's likely her mum giving her care. It's fine, but my guess is that you're okay with your child growing up in 2 households. You likely won't be invited for the birth. It's a sad state. Oh, shut up, Redditor3. You're so insane. I can't with this guy. OP says, she's not currently living with her mum, and her mum is solidly on my side. I've been to the last 2 prenatal appointments since I moved out. There is nothing indicating that I will not be invited to the birth. She has treated me exponentially better since I have moved out. Honestly, these 2 weeks have shown that she is capable of treating me well while pregnant. Redditor3 says, well, then maybe you both are better off without each other. It's too bad for your child. She doesn't have to invite you to the birth, that's what I'm saying. Often, it causes undue stress at the time to have an ex-partner in the room, so it's often recommended that they don't be in the room. OP says, she doesn't have to invite me to the birth if we were married. I have no right to be in the room regardless of the state of our relationship, but there's also nothing preventing me from being there. And she keeps sending me updates on the birthing plan to add to my list of things to make sure I have. So all indications are that she still wants me there. Redditor3 says, "You're lucky then. But like you said, you don't have the right to be there regardless. It's less likely that you'll be there if you're broken up. No offense, but having been through birth 3 times, I wouldn't want an ex there during that time. It's often suggested that exes not be there so that it doesn't stress out the mum and baby. A supportive, caring partner? Sure, but an ex? No. Even if they are caring and supportive exes. But all the best to your child. I hope that birth goes well and that both are healthy." All of Redditor3's comments in this thread are downvoted and have people disagreeing with them and or calling them out. Oh my god, this is such an unhinged thread. What is wrong with all of these people just making the utmost of assumptions and being like, well, it's like that in my head, so that has to be reality. She might be telling you that you're coming to the birth and telling you to bring all these things and be prepared for the birth, but I don't think you deserve to be there. And you know what? You should go jump off a cliff because that's what you deserve for breaking up with a pregnant woman. You gotta kowtow to her every desire. Like, bro, that's the energy Redditor3 is giving off. Jesus Christ, Redditor3, go get therapy. And now, onto the update. So Jen and I met up earlier this week to discuss our relationship after she had sent some text messages. She apologized for how she behaved towards me. She particularly apologized for how she behaved when I moved out of the apartment. And we covered these comments that are both mentioned here. She said she will definitely stop searching my phone if I moved back in. She also said she was ready to get engaged. She historically had been the holdup in us getting engaged or married, as I talk about here. I asked why she started searching my phone in the first place. She said she really did not know. Jen said she had seen me get hit on before by girls in my personal training work and shut the women down, even before we were dating. She trusted that I would do that generally, but she's feeling self-conscious about her body and thinks maybe I would be tempted to not do that now. Apparently Amanda's ex was a guy who got hit on by girls and would shut them down in front of her, but was secretly cheating with some of them. But I said, if you saw me rejecting these women before we were even dating, why would that change now? Why would I risk my license? She said she didn't have an answer. I told her that is why she needs counselling, to explore that. I asked if in the 6 or so weeks of searching my phone at least every other day, if she saw anything from me to any other woman that even hinted at romantic interest. She said no at first, but then laughed and commented that I did send a heart emoji to a group chat with Jen to a picture of her mum in a dress that she just bought. But she admitted that she has no suspicion whatsoever that I'm trying to get with her mum. She said she's not ready for counselling and is not ready to give up on Amanda, but she is going to move in with her mum in the next few weeks. I let her know that I cannot move back in with her until at least counselling is being started. She understood. I'm going to let the landlord know that we're terminating the lease at the end of September. She's sad that we're not living together, but understood where I'm coming from. She gave me a hug and a kiss, and that was the end of the conversation. She later sent me a text asking if I was okay with her still watching my videos. I had made some videos some months back for her viewing pleasure. I said, sure. It's so funny. Can I still get off to your nudes? Is that alright? Go ahead, babe. Her mum later texted and told me they had a long heart-to-heart about Jen and I's relationship. Yeah, and then you started hitting on her mum, you sick freak, OP. Redditor3 be like. In the comments, Even Speech says, Jen needs counselling like yesterday. OP needs to look into getting a lawyer because she's going to have his baby, and if she doesn't have her head on straight by then, things can go really messy really fast. I wish you and your baby, and Jen too, the best moving forward. Redditor7 says, she has no intention of changing or even pretending to. She's still refusing counselling and won't cut off a toxic influence that she admits is affecting their relationship. She's made it very clear where her priorities are. OP needs to sit down with her, and maybe with her mum present since she seems more rational, and discuss what custody is going to look like when the baby arrives. Make it clear that she will not be keeping him from his kid or making all the decisions herself. Keep notes on everything she says just in case. If they can't come to an amicable agreement now, get a lawyer involved ASAP. So basically she promised nothing, but you're getting back together? OP says, we are not getting back together. Then why are you talking about living together instead of how to split time and money for the baby? OP says, she asked me what it would take for me to consider living together again. I gave her my conditions. She is still refusing those conditions. We are at 22 weeks. We do not need to talk about custody and child support yet. Plus, I'm going to have my lawyer handle that when we get to that point. If you're not getting back together and she has intimate videos of you, you should tell her in writing to delete them and not allow her to keep them and keep watching them. Nothing good will come of that. Revenge porn is a crime, but it's hard to get that kind of thing taken down, especially if it's been disseminated across multiple platforms and shared by different people. OP says, I am completely unbothered by the fact that she has these videos. When I made the videos, I knew full well that they could later end up on the internet. I was assuming that risk. If she wants to keep using them, I have no problem with that. So Jen admits that her suspicions were unfounded and is sad that they won't be living together, but refuses to change or get rid of a toxic friendship. It feels like she's waiting for OP to change his mind or feel bad about not living with a child once they're born and have everything magically go back to normal with no work on her end. She would really rather have Amanda in her life than her boyfriend and father of her child, yes? Maybe downvoted Redditor 3 should step up to be someone else's parent. This is it. Downvoted Redditor 3, it's your time to come back in. You can be the parent that stepped up. I believe in you, buddy. Your projection and her denial is going to be the perfect mix of trauma for the child. Let's make magic happen. Come on, guys. It's so funny because at the start of this post, there's like a trigger warning for projection from Redditors, and it was so much better than I thought it was going to be in these comments. But yeah, like Redditor7 says and everyone else says, she has no intention of changing. She has no intention of even pretending to change. There's no saving someone like that. They are going to be the piece of shit that they have proven to be. The mask has well and truly slipped off that face and gone right up their ass with the stick that is up their ass. I saw someone saying that I say way too many cliches. Shut up. Cliches are funny. But yeah, I don't understand all the white knights that see her behaving in a toxic, negative, and just completely unagreeable way and go, you're the problem, OP. You're a man, so of course, anything a woman does is A-okay and great. She's actually girl bossing, but you're a man, so you need to step up. Or else Redditor 3 is gonna be the parent that steps up. Alright, buddy, watch out. That's genuinely the vibe that I'm getting from them. Their arguments are coming from nowhere besides, like, hatred for men. Genuinely, I feel that that is where all these arguments that were rightfully downvoted were coming from. OP genuinely did nothing wrong in this situation. How many people in these comments have enough patience for their partner every second day of the week for a month straight to be accusing them of cheating, to be looking through your phone constantly for like half an hour at a time, to always be anxious, upset, accusing you of cheating, not knowing where it's coming from, listening to their friend and saying all of this bullshit? How long can you really last with someone like that? I honestly would have like a 3-strike policy with that, where I'm like, this needs to stop now, or else I'm walking out, like OP did. What a saint for giving her a month. She deserved so much less than that. Anyway, that's my spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love long comments like that with deranged people. They are so funny. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this saga. I know I did. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.